everyone, welcome back to the Jikook news channel. Imagine if everything we believe about Jikook is only half of the story. When the cameras are off, when the stage is empty, and when the world spotlight is no longer on them, are Jimin and Jungkook actually growing closer, or are they slowly drifting apart? One rumor says they are living together. Another claims Jungkook is ignoring Jimin. And in the middle of all this chaos, one name once again shakes the fandom: Yoonmin. Tonight, we are going to break everything down without filters and without illusions. The Jikook rumors have exploded once again, and this time they are hotter, more confusing, and more painful for many fans. On one side, there are whispers that Jimin and Jungkook are actually living together, sharing the same space, the same life, and even the same daily routines away from the spotlight. On the other side, a completely different narrative has emerged. One that claims Jungkook is ignoring Jimin, distancing himself, and slowly cutting off an emotional bond that once felt incredibly strong over the years. In the midst of this chaos, another question continues to fuel endless debate. Is Yoonmin real, or is it merely an illusion born from misinterpreted moments? Rumors about Jikook living together are not new, but recently the speculation feels far more intense. Many fans have started connecting clues that seem insignificant on their own, yet when pieced together, appear to form parts of a larger puzzle. Similar room interiors seen in live broadcasts, familiar camera angles, personal items that seem to move from one content to another, and schedules that appear strangely aligned despite their rare public appearances together. All of this raises one big question. Are they truly sharing the same space? Or is this simply coincidence amplified by hopeful fans? However, as rumors about their closeness grow louder, a wave of disappointment has also surfaced. Some fans feel that Jungkook appears colder toward Jimin. Interactions that once felt spontaneous now seem controlled. Gazes that once felt full are now interpreted as empty by some. Jungkook, who was usually responsive, now appears quiet. Jimin, who once seemed to be the center of Jungkook's attention, now appears to be standing alone. This is where the narrative of Jungkook ignoring Jimin began to grow and spread rapidly, triggering mixed emotions of anger, sadness, and confusion. But is Jungkook truly ignoring Jimin? Or are we only seeing a small fragment of a much more complex reality? Jungkook is known as someone who has changed over time. He is no longer the innocent magne who relied heavily on his youngs. He is a grown man carrying responsibilities, burdens, and a different way of expressing emotions. When Jungkook chooses silence, it does not necessarily mean he does not care. When he keeps his distance in front of the camera, it does not mean the feelings are gone. It could mean the opposite, that he is protecting something too precious to be shown. Jimin is no different. Many say he appears more sensitive, more cautious, and even more withdrawn lately. But for those who truly pay attention, there is a new strength within him. He appears more mature, more stable, and more aware of his position. While Jimin once served as Jungkook's emotional anchor, their relationship may now be entering a calmer, more balanced phase, one that no longer requires public validation. Amid the heated Jikook narrative, the name Yoonmin has resurfaced and caused division among fans. Some see the closeness between Jimin and Yoongi as proof that Jimin has moved on. Their warm interactions, consistent support, and natural comfort have led some fans to believe that Yoonmin is more than just friendship. But the question remains, does emotional closeness automatically negate Jikook? The relationships among BTS members are always complex and layered. Yoongi is calm, mature, and capable of providing a safe space for Jimin. So it is not surprising that Jimin feels comfortable around him. But comfort does not always equal romance. In a group dynamic like BTS, emotional closeness is often misinterpreted, especially when fans are searching for replacements for something they feel is fading. What is often forgotten is that the Jikook bond was never built on grand or flashy moments. Its strength lies in small details, repeated habits, and consistent presence, even when it is not clearly visible. Jikook is about subtle body language, silence that speaks, and care that is not always announced. When a relationship enters a more private phase, it is understandable that many people feel a sense of loss. Social media only worsens the situation. Short video clips, context-less screenshots, and twisted narratives spread faster than any clarification. Algorithms do not care about truth. They care about reactions. The more controversial a rumor is, the wider it spreads. This is where many fans fall into the trap of believing stories built on assumptions rather than facts. If we step back and look at the bigger picture, one thing becomes clear. Both Jimin and Jungkook are going through important phases in their lives. They are growing as individuals, not just as part of a duo or a ship. Changes in how they interact are not signs of failure, but signs of growth. Mature relationships are not always public, not always visible, and not always easy for outsiders to understand. Questions about whether they live together, whether Jungkook is ignoring Jimin, or whether Yoonmin is real may ultimately have no definitive answers. And perhaps that is exactly how it should be. Not everything needs to be explained. Not every relationship needs confirmation. There is a thin line between what they choose to share and what they choose to protect. What matters most is how we, as fans, choose to respond. Will we continue to pressure, demand, and judge based on fragmented narratives? Or will we offer space, trust, and respect to two people who have given so much emotion and honesty to the world? Rumors about Jimin may explode today and fade tomorrow, only to resurface in a different form. But one thing no rumor can erase is the history, connection, and bond built over years. Whether they live together or not, whether they appear close on camera or not, real feelings do not disappear simply because we stop seeing them. And perhaps that is the hardest truth to accept, that not all love needs to be announced. Not all closeness needs to be proven. And not all relationships need to meet our expectations. Sometimes, what is most real is what is most quiet. In the end, the story of Jimin and Jungkook cannot be simplified into right or wrong, real or fake, together or apart. It is the story of two souls growing under immense pressure, learning how to love, care, and understand each other in their own way. We may not always see them standing side by side. We may no longer be given the same raw moments as before. But mature love is not always loud. Jikook does not exist to fulfill anyone's expectations. They exist to survive, to grow, and to protect what matters most to them. If Jungkook chooses silence today, perhaps it is because he is guarding something. If Jimin appears to walk alone, perhaps it is because he is strong enough to do so. And if they no longer give us answers, perhaps it is because some things were never meant for public consumption. As fans, our role is not to force the story to fit our desires, but to respect their journey. Because the most sincere relationships rarely need proof. They do not live in rumors, do not breathe in gossip, and do not die just because they are rarely seen. If one day Jimin and Jungkook choose to show their version of the truth to the world, we will see it. And if they do not, it does not erase what once existed. Because Jikook is not about viral moments, video clips, or the loudest theories. Jikook is about feelings that endure, even when the world stops watching. Thank you for watching until the end. If you still believe that not all love needs to be announced to be real, stay with us. Because this story is not over yet.